lovies. Did you miss me? I miss you so much. Morah Lora really misses you. I can't wait until we get together again. I miss you, lovies. You're the best lovies I have ever had. All right, let's start. Good morning. If yesterday was a good job, Thursday, then today is good job, Friday. And tomorrow will be Shabbat, good job. What month is it that starts with Ma and ends with Arch? March, good job. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Whew. Wow, that was a lot of counting. And guess what? Today is a very, very special celebration for somebody. There is a child in our classroom that starts with the letter J. Can you guess who it is? Today was supposed to be her birthday Shabbat. I know your real birthday is on Monday, but your real birthday Shabbat was supposed to be today. So happy birthday. Let's sing, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lavi. Happy birthday to you. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. To our special Lavi. Happy birthday, love. All right, today we're celebrating Shabbat, right? But before we celebrate Shabbat, before we talk about how God created the world, we learned so many things about Passover. We were so busy learning. We learned that a long, long time ago in the land of, good job, Egypt, lived a king and his name was Pharaoh. Was he a nice king? Good job. No. Who was he mean to? To the Jewish people. What did he make them? He made them into what? Good job, slaves. Do slaves get paid? No. Do slaves have to listen to their master and to their boss? Yes. Can slaves rest whenever they want? No. Can slaves eat whenever they want? No. Slaves have to listen to their master. Good job. And the Jewish people worked very hard and they were slaves. One Jewish mother didn't like it and she put her baby where? That's right, in a basket in the Nile River. The princess came to bathe and she stretched out her arm and she pulled the basket out of the river. And do you remember what she called him? Moses. Good job. Do you know what it means? That's right, to pull out of the river. Very good. We learned so many wonderful things. And just like we were busy learning about Passover, who was busy creating the world? Good job, God. On day 1, what did God create? The light and the dark. Good job. On day 2, what did God create? The heaven and the, good job, the earth. On day 3, God created the flowers, the trees, and the grass, things that grow. On day 4, God created the sun in the sky and the moon and the stars during the night, right? The sun during the day and the moon and the stars during the night. Good job. On day 5, God put birds in the sky and fish in the ocean. Good job. On day 6, God created the animal and then people. Good job. And on day 7, God was so tired. And he wanted to rest. And he created Shabbat. And on Shabbat we rest. We eat yummy food. We spend time with family. And who are we, guys? friends. Good job, we're friends. It is Friday night, and who starts Shabbat? The Ima, good job. And who does Kiddush? Good job, the Abba. Shabbat is here, Shabbat is here. I'm so glad that Shabbat is here. Candles burning bright on a Friday night. I'm so glad that Shabbat is here. Shabbat shalom to all my lovies. Shabbat shalom to Morah Lora. Shabbat shalom to everyone. Shabbat, Shabbat, shalom. Good job. I hope you have such a good Shabbat. But before we go for our Shabbat, do you remember mitzvah, mitzvah notes? Everybody does a mitzvah. I want everyone to put on their thinking cap and think, what something nice did you do today? Morah Lora did so many things. Morah Lora made food for her family. Morah Lora cleaned the rooms and the house for Shabbat so that everyone has a nice atmosphere, nice way to sit. Morah Lora did the laundry. Morah Lora did so many things. Morah Lora said such nice things to her family. What did you do? What was your mitzvah, guys? Did you do something nice for somebody in your family or for your friend or for your grandma? Did you pick up a phone and call somebody to wish them a good Shabbat? I'm wishing you a good Shabbat. That's a mitzvah too. Do you miss Morah Lora and having Shabbat together? That's a mitzvah too. That's right. All right. So today is the letter X for exile, because remember, the Jewish people, when they left Egypt, it's called exile from Egypt. So we're doing the letter X. The letter X has two straight lines, but they're not up and down lines. They're crisscross like this. That's the letter X. That's the first one, the letter X. You see the letter X? You need to find on this page the letter X. Good job. But before you do the letter X, what is the first thing we do? Write our, good job, name. The next paper, we write our name, and then you turn the page over, and that's the letter X for X-ray. X, X-ray, exile. What are some of the things, the pictures here that start with the letter X? Let's see. Does the truck, truck starts with X? No. Does ant start with X? No. Does xylophone, although it starts with X, it makes the S sound, xylophone. Xylophone starts with the letter X. Does butterfly starts with the letter X? No, it starts with the letter B. Good job. So there's only one picture that starts with the letter X. What is it? Who remembers? Good job, xylophone. So circle the xylophone. Good job. Let's go over our punishments. Do you remember how many punishments God gave to King Pharaoh and all the Egyptians? 1, 2, how many? 5? 10? Good job, 10 punishments. And after each punishment, what did Pharaoh do? That's right, he changed his mind. Just like that. The first punishment, who remembers? What was it that the Egyptians drank and it turned to something red? Good job, blood. Very good, blood. The water turned into blood. Did the Jewish people's water turn into blood? Good job. You're such good listeners. You are the best listeners that Morah Lora has. Morah Lora loves you so, so much, and I miss you so, so much. The second punishment. What was the second punishment? Who remembers? It's those green, slimy things that hop. Good job. Frogs. Very good. Look at all these frogs. Morah Lora has a very interesting frog to show you. It hops. Look at this. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. One morning when Pharaoh awoke in his bed, there were frogs on his bed and frogs on his head, frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Ah! Frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere. Good job. The third punishment was those tiny little bugs that made you itch. And every time, what did King Pharaoh say? Moses, okay, I promise you I will let the Jewish people go. But as soon as the punishment was over, what did he do? He changed his mind. Oh, that King Pharaoh, he cannot keep his promise. Is that okay not to keep your promise? That's right, it's not okay. You should always, if you promise something, you should keep your promise. If you know that you can't keep your promise, then don't promise anything. The fourth punishment is wild beasts. They came roaring. Tigers and lions and bears. And it scared the Egyptians. And the Egyptians said, we're scared. It's making so much racket, so much noise. Please stop. But as soon as the punishment was over, King Pharaoh changed his mind just like that. The fifth punishment was sick. What? What are these? They're laying down on their back. That's right, cows. Sick cows. Moo. They couldn't even moo. They were so sick. Moo. 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 And when we don't have cows, what don't we have? Good job. Milk. Morah Lora loves milk. What does Morah Lora like to do? What does Morah Lora like to do dipping in the milk? Cookies. That's right. Morah Lora loves dipping cookies in the milk. I love yogurt, and I love cheese, and I love grilled cheese sandwich, and I love macaroni and cheese. And when we don't have milk, we can't have all those things. The sixth punishment was blisters. Big, painful blisters all over their skin, on their arms, and on their legs, and on their chest, and on their bellies, and on their backs, and on their tushies. They couldn't stand. They couldn't lay down. They couldn't lean over. And each time they said, okay, Moses, this time, seriously, pinky promise, I will let the Jewish people go. But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind just like that. The next punishment, punishment number 7, was big balls of ice like rock falling from the sky. And it fell on their heads and on their shoulders and on their bellies and on their backs and on the animals. And each time they said, ow, oh, it hurts. And each time King Pharaoh did what? That's right, changed his mind just like that. The next punishment number 8, were big bugs called locusts. Good job. The locusts ate all the food, the blueberries and the strawberries and the apples and the mangoes and the grapes and the kiwi and the apples and the peaches. The Egyptian people didn't have any left. The next punishment was darkness. Hey! Lovies, where did you go? Come back! Don't leave me! Lovies, I want you back. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Did you play hide and seek with me? This is no time for hide and seek, you know. This is time for a story, you silly bunsiks. We'll play hide and seek another time. The 10th punishment. God took all the Egyptian babies away and the mommies cried. I would cry if my babies disappeared. I love my babies and I love my lovies. I want my baby back. And this time, punishment number 10, when God took all the babies, the Egyptian babies away, King Pharaoh came to Moses and he said, Moses, please stop before I change my mind just like that. And the Jewish people had to leave in a hurry. They were only wearing the clothes. They didn't have time to get new clothes. They didn't have time to bake bread. They were baking bread because you need to wait for the bread to rise and get puffy and fluffy. And they put the dough on their backs. And what did it turn out into? Good job, into matzah. No time to linger, get out of bed. Put on your sandals, cover your head. Tie up the blanket, hold sister's hand. Let's follow Moses to the promised land. Out, out of Egypt to be free. Out, out of Egypt to be free. They came to the Sea of Reeds. And what happened? Who was in the back of them? The Egyptians. They changed their mind again. Oh, those Egyptians. They just didn't want to let the Jewish people go. The Egyptians were behind the Jews. The Sea of Reeds was in the front. On the sides, there was nowhere to go. And the Jewish people and Moses said, God, now what do we do? And what did God say? What's the problem? Did I tell you to stop? Go! So the Jewish people started walking into the Sea of Reeds. And what happened? The sea split open for the Jewish people to pass on dry lands. That's right, very good. And that's why we celebrate. And the Jewish people sang, Ilu, Ilu, Hotzianu, Hotzianu, Mimitzrayim, Hotzianu, Mimitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Good job. We'll learn next week more things about Passover and the steps that we need to do on the Seder. Who remembers? What does the Seder mean? Good job. Order. Good job, because we need to follow a certain order. We're going to talk about how many steps the Seder has. What are the steps? We're going to learn so much more about Passover. But right now, Morah Lora wants to read you a story before we say Shabbat Shalom and goodbye. This is called Happy Passover. Who hops? Frogs. Good job. Who remembers? What is a group of frogs called? Good job. An army. This is called Happy Passover. That funny dish, Grandma? Asked Violet. It's the Seder plate for Passover, said Grandma. Remember special meal we had here last year? No, said Violet. And Simon, can we do it again? Of course, said Grandma. You see, we celebrate Passover every year because we want to thank Hashem for all the miracles and how he saved us from Egypt, right? I want to help, said Violet as she hopped down. Me too, said Simon. He hopped so hard his ears flip-flopped. Here, Mama handed them books. You can set out Haggadahs. Ooh, a story, said Violet. Yes, said Papa, from long ago when the Jewish people were slaves in Egypt. Good job. By the way, guys, do you know what a group of rabbits called? A colony. A group of rabbits is called a colony. A group of frogs is called an army, but a group of rabbits is called a colony. Grandpa held up a big flat cracker. What is that, guys? Matzah. Good job. When Moses led the slaves out of Egypt, this is what they ate, matzah, because they didn't have time to bake bread. That's what I love about Passover, said Papa. The first bite of matzah. I want a taste too, said Violet. Me too, said Simon. Very soon, said Papa. We will wait for the Seder. Grandma gave Simon a bunch of parsley. Please put this on the Seder plate. Simon said. This is what I love about Passover. Soon, oops, he ate the whole bunch of parsley. Grandma laughed. Here is more for you and the Seder plate. I just made charoset, said Grandpa. See, it looks like clay. The slaves made them into bricks. But it doesn't taste like bricks. It tastes delicious. Try some. Violet nibbled and nibbled. This is what I love about Passover. She giggled. More bricks, please. It looks like bricks, but it tastes yummy. Charoset is Morah Lora's favorite part of the Seder. Mama set a roasted egg, a bone, and a horseradish root on the Seder plate. Violet and Simon did not try any of these. See, these are the special symbols. We'll talk more about the special symbols on the Seder plate. Grandpa handed them a stack of pillows, one for each chair, he said. You know why? Asked Papa. The slaves were not allowed to rest on pillows, but we are free. And we can rest whenever we want. Remember Morah Lora told you that when you're a slave, can you rest whenever you want? No, you have to listen to your master, right? Violet and Simon tried out every pillow. Bounce, bounce, bounce. We're free, they sang. We're free, whee! Everyone sat down. The grown-ups read from the Haggadah. Violet and Simon drank grape juice and dipped parsley in salt water. Do you remember why we need to have salt water at the Seder table? What did the Jewish people do in Egypt? They cried. And to remind us of their tears, we have salt water at our Seder table, and we dip 2 vegetables in the salt water to remind us of the Jewish people's tears. Now watch closely, said Grandpa. He broke a piece of matzah and wrapped some in a napkin. I'm going to hide this, and you will look for it later. It's called the afikomen. Afikomen means dessert. We need to eat it at the end of the Seder. Violet and Simon watched closely. But where did it go? They didn't know. Grandpa is a good hider, isn't he? Next, Papa helped them say the 4 questions. Then Violet and Simon ate matzah. It was very dry and crunchy. Why is this night different from all the other nights? They even tasted a tiny bit of horseradish. It made them shiver from nose to toes. They quickly ate lots of charoset. Violet licked her lips. More bricks, please, she said. At last, it was time for Grandma's matzah ball soup. This is what I love best about Passover. Simon slurped and slurped. Is it nice to slurp? No. We need to drink nicely, with good manners, not slurping. Oops! Bleh. He burped. What do we say when we burp? Excuse me. After dinner, Papa said, it's time to find the afikomen. Do you remember what afikomen means? Good job, dessert. Good job. Find the afikomen. The hidden matzah. Violet and Simon searched everywhere. Ooh, look! Violet laughed. I see it! I see it! Do you see the afikomen, guys? Where is it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? There! Good job. Simon giggled so hard his tummy jiggled. Grandpa gave them each a present for finding the afikomen, a new picture book. They hopped around the room, hop, hop, hop. Grandma beamed, Happy Passover! Grandpa shook his head. Around here, it's Happy Passover. Now hop over and open the door for Elijah. I don't see him, said Simon. That's okay, nobody does, said Grandpa. Watch his cup, see if he drinks any wine. They watched and watched and watched. I think he did, whispered Violet. Me too, said Simon. A tiny sip. Finally, they all sang songs. Mama was happy. This is what I love best. Papa nodded. Passover reminds us of how good our life is. It sure does, said Grandpa. You know what I love best about Passover? Asked Grandma. Violet and Simon shook their heads. What? What, Grandma? What do you love best about Passover? Grandma wrapped her arms around both of them. You. I love you. Just like Morah Lora. Morah Lora loves her lovies the best. And I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you again. Shabbat Shalom, lovies. I want everyone to give a hug and pretend it's from Morah Lora, okay? I love you. I love you. A bushel and a peck. A bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. You betch I love you. You. Poo-poo-pee-doo. I love you. Shabbat Shalom.